Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I am Razim and this is Timberborn. We are also going to be doing some, going over the Pokemon tabletop game that we're running a little bit. Taldarius is going to be helping with that. All of you do make sure that you check out Taldarius's channel as well. Because he is a streamer too.
Oh my god, I've streamed once and then immediately got sick.
So?
Oh my god, okay.
What's
and
your
they're already
point?
following because I'm hearing the audio clips.
The
The audio cues already come.
Well, good. You deserve some attention. Sourdusk, you should check out Taldarius. He's great. Oh yeah, Slitherite.
I've been sitting here muted. That explains a bit. I dropped a follow.
Excellent.
Thank you. I'm glad I am
And then you said I
friend-shaped,
should check him out, and I said, or should I check him out a different way? Is he a good boy?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Noted.
He's definitely not like Blitz, so.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm not Blitz.
I'm glad there's nobody like Blitz. I'll put it that way. I love Blitz, and I love that he's unique.
Unique is definitely one word for it. He is a delight. Alright, we need to get some water production over in this area. Transporting water over is definitely not... it's not cutting it.
Ooh, is it canal time?
Very soon. I just need to get some more, explosives over there. At least I'm hoping that they'll actually go put those, explosives out and stuff. I'm gonna make these low priority. Make this somewhat high. We're gonna do a line over to here.
Man, Lyndon
Get
just
some
straight up
actual
spitting facts
props
tonight.
there.
Zim is cute. I agree.
I am not. And hey there, Neo. Yes, Taldarius
Oh
does
yeah, I
go
was just
in the
talking about how
friend-shaped
you were
hole.
spitting facts.
Really, Lyndon? Hello there, old pal. Aren't you doing Payday 2? Oh, right. That would explain why things are quiet. I turned down my audio last night. Oh, yeah.
I've
been
that, like,
concerned about him, too. What did he say?
everybody is sick lately. Like, it's truly crazy the amount of people that are sick.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's true. Multiple of my friends are sick, my family's sick, I'm sick.
I'm sick. My brother's sick. My roommate's sick. My dad and my stepmom are both sick. Like everyone at work has been sick. Like, and my doctor confirmed basically, yeah, like flu, COVID, and RSV are basically just running rampant right now.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, Zim, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How many moves should they know on character creation? Should they get an allotment of XP where they get to choose certain moves? Do they get to, like pull from a move pool? What are we thinking of?
So, of course, they're going to start with the standard. It's pretty standard that all of them get a status affecting move as well as a move that, a basic pound, scratch, etc. So, of course,
Yeah.
they will start with that. I am liking the idea of them getting to an allotment of stuff, though. That actually sounds like a pretty fun system to me.
Yeah, because if we basically can
Oh my god.
get it at just the right amount.
They made a Baldur's Gate reference in this. You must gather
What?
your supplies before venturing forth. I love this
All right.
game even more now. In Baldur's
I have a
Gate.
question for
But
you,
yeah,
Zim.
Okay.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
42. Taldarius, what were you saying?
I was saying if we could get it at like just the right point where they could choose between getting like a really decent damaging move or like two smaller moves, that'd probably be like a really good in between point.
I would agree.
I don't think they should be capable of getting to like 3 extra moves or anything like that. I think 2's about as far as it should go.
2 does sound like maybe
Well,
1
because if they're
or
starting with
2.
2 moves, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, if they're starting with 2 moves already by default, and that way they can choose between getting like, one bigger move. Like let's say you're playing, I don't know, a fucking Charmander, and so, you get Scratch and Growl, and I really want Ember to start with. And, that's a stab elemental move. It's basic, but like, costs a little bit extra more. You use your starting allotment. Or you could choose between like, 2 like really small cheap moves in order to cover yourself better, but not have like, like the options you'd get from having Ember. Or just like as an example.
Yeah. Yes, it was a nice joke, Wolf Mage. I agree. Letting them have some experience that they can spend on different on some moves. Maybe we'll give them an allotment and they can. Or they could. Well, I was thinking we would give them bonus experience that they could spend anyways. Bonus experience that they can distribute wherever they want. So they could use that to, get more moves.
All right, and then they could choose between getting like skills or specializations or.
Yeah. Or more moves.
Yeah, I like that. So, I guess, when I get a little bit of thing here, I should probably actually, like, figure out a good amount that works for that.
That's the main difficulty, is figuring out how much of anything.
Well, because the thing is, we don't have a specific we don't have like a gatekeep thing. Like it isn't like, because I played in systems where like there's an XP allotment at the start, but like you can't raise your attributes after character creation. You can only raise your skills.
Oof, yeah, we definitely don't want that.
Yeah. So it's like we don't have something like that where like it basically forces them to do one thing or be gimped for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Hey there, Slick Pog. I'm doing alright. And yourself? God, systems like that, though, are the absolute worst. Like, who thinks this is fun?
You shall pick
Yeah.
what you want to be at the beginning, and you shall be that henceforth.
Yeah. No, there's not either. Like I'm playing a game in that system right now, and it's like there literally isn't even like a retraining mechanic where you could like retrain it. It's just what you have. The only way that you're able to get extra like attribute points is effectively you have to reach the end of your talent tree in that class. You aren't limited on the number of classes you can take or like your total levels. So technically speaking, you can like infinitely raise it up to like, the hard cap. But I mean, it doesn't exactly work that way, considering they also have like recommended XP amounts and all that. And it's like it's never enough that it would cover everything.
Yeah.
Hello, Whomstead joined.
Hello, Jolene.
Hello. For some reason, it didn't want to unmute
Someone
me.
Friendshape joined.
Yes. I'm the roundest of the friend shapes.
I was just gonna say, I mean, she can literally be whatever shape she wants.
Probably.
She can be your
Friend-shaped,
angle or your
enemy-shaped,
double.
We have yet to see her be enemy shaped, but she's been hostile shaped, but not enemy shaped.
But she could
There's a
be if she
difference.
wanted.
Yes. I'm waiting for the day that somebody actually makes her their enemy, and not just trying to protect herself. That will be a fun day. Long-term NPC gets on her bad side. Oh, jeez. I'm playing Gunfire, and my game like froze up for a second, and I thought my computer was crashing.
But yeah, I definitely like the idea of them being able to just be able to spend their points on a new move instead of increasing one of their stats or something. The main difficulty is just figuring
Especially
out good
if it doesn't have
numbers.
like a permanent effect, where instead it's just like, hey, how do you want to start? Instead of, hey, pre-build your entire character's like path in your head already from the start.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing that annoys me a little bit about D&D, where it's always like, if you want to do something new, it's basically a go pound sand.
Or beg your DM to let you.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to try DMing for the first time ever next year. I'm waiting for this one particular tabletop to come out.
Oh, what is it?
Have you ever heard of the podcast Old Gods of Appalachia?
No, I don't really follow any podcasts.
I've heard of it.
It's a
I've heard of it.
horror anthology podcast. And they came out with a Kickstarter for a tabletop for it with a goal of like, I think it was $60,000. And over 2 weeks raised over $2 million. But I'm in love with the podcast and very much looking forward to the tabletop.
I myself am. What Taldarius and I are talking about is we are working on a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon themed tabletop game. Though we are looking to.
Interesting.
Huh? You broke out of it there, Sour.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought somebody said something. I thought it was
Well,
you.
I heard
but-
something too, so.
I think
Oh.
I mean, I started to say something, but it was like seconds before anything like happened, and then I heard another noise, and then Zim stopped.
I don't know. I may have cleared my throat.
Okay.
That
Well,
might
either
be-
way. Yeah. Tabletop, a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop game. Because that is one thing that the community is missing. We've got all of these, trainer Pokemon systems, but nothing dedicated to the Mystery Dungeon side. But
Yep.
it's
Although we are making the system generic enough that it can be adapted to other things.
yeah, I was gonna say that one of the goals is to make it where you could potentially play it with Digimon or your own various monster critters. Ooh, we
Basically,
could
we're
come
just
up with-
making it so that way we could just sort of shrug and do whatever the hell you want, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's the
But-
design here.
I mean, and it's part of why we haven't gone with stats that are from the game directly. That and the fact that they don't really work, despite people's insistence that somehow attack, defense, special attack, and special defense and speed were valid attributes.
I mean, they are if we want to hyper specialize it.
They are only valid in an actual video game.
Yeah.
There is no way you could manage to pull those off in a tabletop system. Unless there is zero roleplay.
Yep. That's why I said hyper. That's why I mentioned like hyper specializing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so about how much do we want to give them, considering the fact that and here's actually the more important question. Do they still have to follow the dot maximums for like the free dots that they got if they buy extra stuff with their starting XP?
I'm kind of leaning towards a yes.
That's what I was thinking as well, because I'm just going to let you know that if we let it so that way, you know, you're able to like bypass the restrictions, then that is when the power gamers start like rubbing their hands together and going, okay, I
Oh, yeah.
can fuck with this.
Not to mention, keeping those limits would be beneficial, actually, for, because one problem that World of Darkness faces is if you do not max out your skills, attributes, and such, or at least max them out as much as you can, you're penalized later. Because without maxing them out, you're, that just means you're missing out on XP that could be spent elsewhere.
Do they have a capstone refund?
I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm more meaning because it costs more for upgrading things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I said a capstone refund, there are systems that I play where if you get to the maximum of your if you completely max something out, you get like a little bit of the XP back to apply elsewhere as like a capstone. So like if you get the last level in something, you get XP you can throw elsewhere.
Oh.
It really encourages like hyper specialization, but that's kind of what it's called, where it's a capstone.
Yeah, the goal of the system is more to allow people to, like, not everybody is supposed to be great at everything. Otherwise, what's the point in running around in a group?
Yep.
You're supposed
Besides
to have
mutual safety.
Yeah. But you're supposed to have specializations for everybody, have things that they're good at, that others just, they're not as good with.
Yep.
So that is definitely something, a part of what I want to encourage with this is having them be able to, specialize a bit more. But we don't want them at character creation to just become gods.
I was about to say, I'd be more worried about the other end of things, where if you force them to specialize in order to get like anything really done, then you have a bunch of characters where they have their specific niche and they focus on that, and they're a little bit more, I'm not going to say worthless, but at a disadvantage if they ever do anything that isn't their specialization.
That is also something to avoid, yes.
Because that's a very common outcome if with what you're proposing.
For the limits, or
specifically due to how spread out everything is here. We're like, there's like 27 different skills. It's like, that's really spread out. It's if it can really lead to different characters like really just specializing in like a small area. That way they can get like maximum effectiveness with minimum points. Because like, for example, like if you have a character right now, and I'm just like giving this as like if I was building a character, like an effective one.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk with all of the other like players beforehand, and I would like if that's an option. If not, I would have a primary attribute, and I would just start dumping like all of my XP and all of my stuff into my primary attribute for the skills underneath it. For like example, like if I wanted to play like a character that had a lot of natural, I would only really try and put points into athletics, brawl, initiative, insight, intimidation, perception, presence, soak, and strike. Because otherwise, like, I become a lot less effective as a character if I start, spending XP to level up mind, and then I start getting, like, some survival. It
Well,
it
I
sort of
will-
risks shoehorning.
I will say that while some of the skills definitely will most often be rolled with certain attributes, they're not meant for that. Because, like, athletics, it's hard to have it be something that, I mean, I could see like, if you're trying to solve a puzzle or, like, say, play chess, you might have somebody roll a mind athletics.
That doesn't really.
It's just a random example, but
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't exactly fit the most.
that's not necessarily the way it's going to work. Like I said, a lot of the skills are definitely going to be
Joke.
they definitely will have certain attributes that they just work with, but not all
Yeah.
of them are meant to be that way.
Yeah, but I'm just more pointing out that, like, when it comes to stuff like that, like, because I'm just trying to, like, give it as more of an example, where, like, if it's an option, like, characters will specialize in certain things, like, they try and stick to natural or trained or knowledge.
Probably. Hey there, Rayshella, and yes, Slitherite, I do tend to get, Jet does tend to get stuck in things. RZ, I kind of started this up because you guys were full and didn't want, or didn't have room for me, so, I wouldn't mind doing payday, but I'm gonna hang out with, Taldarius until he has to go, and then, yeah, we can do some payday. The biggest trouble, though, for me, is figuring out... I mean, I know no matter what we come up with, we are going to have to play test to actually see if these various amounts of experience points they feel good and stuff. But, like, I want to come up with a formula... yeah, RZ, go ahead and join my call, because, if I joined, with Rygon and got moved in, then the Discord reactive just doesn't work if I get moved to a channel. I have to actually join it. Where was I? Oh, right. I want to come up with the formula for calculating, experience costs. Are you familiar with Pathfinder's custom weapon system?
Hello, friends.
I'm not too
Hello, lots of new
I'm not too
friends.
familiar with the custom weapons system. The most I'm familiar with is I've made sphere characters in Pathfinder. Obviously, I'm talking about 1E here. I haven't played Pathfinder 2E.
Hey, Izim.
Hello.
Why can't you play the Wii music? It should be working. Unless you don't have enough points for it.
So in Pathfinder, they've got it's basically a point buy system where you can craft your own custom weapons with various, attributes to them. Like,
That's
you can...
loud.
Yeah. Is that feeding through Discord?
People are just redeeming shit. Yeah.
There we go.
Actually, I guess with, let me turn that off.
Oh, that's
I'll
a
just
cool
relay
little
if somebody
set
plays a
emote,
card
Robert.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
But what I was saying is they've got a, also, Rygon, I don't know if you heard or not, or RZ related, but, Taldarius is only here for so long, so I want to...
Yeah, I'm only here for like another like.
That's
20
why I'm
minutes.
letting you. Yeah, that's why I'm letting you all have your conversation.
Alright. but you can make a weapon that has reach and defender and all these different attributes, but on the flip side, you then have less in the way of damage that it can do. And that's how they've got it set up. And that's what I'm thinking of doing here, except part of me kind of wants to lean towards a no limit. However, the XP cost will get exponentially greater.
So maybe not exponentially. Maybe what about if it's linear? That way, the more moves you know, the more expensive the next move is.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, like, we'll give examples. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just leery about exponential costs because that soft locks characters out of changing things if they want to. Because if you have it so that way, it's like prohibitively expensive to get any more moves, and like they want to like, let's say they just want to pick up like a new move in something, then it could like, you know, just like completely ruin any chance of that.
What I am referring to, let me pull it up here so I can actually have it in front of me. Creating new weapons. Here we go. Why did that not go down there? There we go. So the way they've got it set up, there is a max on their end. However, improved damage. Just reading real quick.
That's fine. Go read.
Okay, never mind. I guess that is just so improving damage in the Pathfinder system is just 1 point each step. But like improved critical threat range. You can increase it once for 3 points, and then to get it, and then you can purchase it again. Will increase. It will cost 7 points.
And if you want to purchase it again, how much does it cost then?
Well, that one does have a limit of only being able to be purchased twice.
Okay.
So, you know, first time you purchase it, it increases threat range to 19 and 20 and costs 3 points. Second time you purchase it, it increases it to 18 to 20 and costs 7 points.
Is that in addition to the previous cost?
Yes. We'll probably not keep those same numbers, obviously, but having a general threshold there helps out. Hey there, Rowan. Yes, this is Razor, my fire dog that I have had for longer than my Sableroo. I've actually had Razor longer than I have had my Sableroo as my persona, but so he's gone through a few redesigns over the years.
I
Or
like
more slight
this
adjustments.
little achievement thingy. I want it.
Let me send you this page, though, Taldarius.
All right. Razor. My property on day 2. Get off my property is hilarious.
Part of the
So,
reason why I want to come up with this... Sorry, old pal, give me 1 second to finish this.
Okay.
Part of the reason that I want to do this route is to make it easier on people to be able to design their own moves. Because, you know, that's fun. Or at least for a lot of people, it's fun to come up with your own custom stuff. And so... having a baseline referral that they can be like, okay, so this is how I calculate what it would cost for this.
All right. So do you want to make an actual in-game system, or would you rather provide examples of why we have priced certain moves the way that they are? And we could do a step-by-step process of our system that we'll use in order to determine cost.
I would say actual in-game system. Partially also, part of the reason why I also want to go this route is it'll save us a lot of work. Because then we'll just, like, instead of going through each move and assigning an experience cost, we just say, okay, here's the formula, here's how you calculate it, here's some examples of existing moves, have at it.
Yeah. Well, I just want to be careful because of what's the word for it? Outlier moves that are like really problematic. Like, for example, like, you know, I don't want to keep only using this as my example, but like imprison.
Moves like that, like ones that have special effects to them, we'll still be going through every move. And that's one that we would put in the, okay, and how are we going to handle this category? And what I'm thinking is we'll sit down, go through each move, go through them, figure things out, be like, okay, this one's standard, the formula we've come up with applies, on to the next, this one's standard, great, next. And then we come across imprison and we're like, okay, we're going to set this aside and we'll come back to it later. We come across, I don't know, Trick Room, I think, would be another unique one. That one, if I remember right,
Probably,
reverses speed.
Yeah, that would probably just reverse initiative order or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, the mechanics for how that one will work is easy to figure out, but the experience cost is something else. But that's how I'm thinking we'll handle this stuff, is just go through and then come back to come up with a smaller list of unique things that we can then figure out how they'll work. And give an experience cost for those specific effects. Which then, of course, somebody trying to make a custom move can be like, yeah, I would say this is this effect that you want to do with this move is at least somewhat comparable to this move here. So we'll make it cost this much.
All right, I do have an important question here.
Yes.
Do we want to do a soft gatekeep on making custom moves that are past a certain, like, because for example, right now, like, we have important breakpoints effectively every 40 power, because, you know, every 40 power gets it, like, when it comes to like stab and all that, that's like an important thing. Do we want to like make it so that way there's any extra cost associated with making a move that does like, you know, rolls 8 dice compared to 7? Like, will there be a bigger jump going from, like, you know, if it's around those important breakpoints?
I think that would be a good way to handle it, yeah.
Because I've played in systems where, like, the way it handles, like, from this bracket to this bracket, it costs this much in order to upgrade it. And then once you hit these amount of upgrades, it goes into a new bracket where every single upgrade is X cost. So we could do it like that, and then include like a small, like, effectively just like a small little XP forward on, you know, getting into the next section.
Yeah, that's absolutely something we should do. Make a note of that, or hopefully you're making notes of all this.
Well, I'm trying to. The notes are a bit weird to do it. But, you know, yeah.
I mean, if you want to just send them to me on Discord, I can go figure out where to put them in the doc later.
Protect and safe.
Whatever you.
Because right now, like a lot of what we were talking about is completely like theoretical, rather than even like, this is how it should work. So
even
far, I've
still-
written down stuff like, yeah.
Even still making notes of these things, I like to have them so we don't forget them later on, and we have it actually there, so to say.
Ooh, that one's interesting.
Yes, Slitherite. I think I'm pretty prepared for a drought. But yeah, having notes of these things would be appreciated. Even if they're just theoretical things.
Oh, that's.
Hey, everything has to start out as a theory before it becomes a practicality.
Okay.
Exactly. But so yeah, I like the breakpoint, it costs so much from here to here. And this will also open up the possibility of, hey, I really like Ember. I want to go ahead and upgrade it. And so they can just be like, I know that there's already upgrades for Ember basically, but maybe somebody like, for example, Jet. I really like the design of his charge stone. So if I want to later on be like, I want an upgraded version, then I can just go through, figure out the experience difference between the two levels, and upgrade it.
Yep.
Caution. Let's go convict. Oh, notice the ground. Oh, huh. That's a funny one.
But yeah, I did break down notes like when making moves, the XP allotment system where certain effects cost EXP. There is going to be an extra cost around each 4 damage die breakpoint.
Cool.
And then between those breakpoints, there is a standard cost associated in that bracket.
It's not using the gas cans, okay? No,
Sounds good to me.
Zookeeper's funny.
We were really struggling on food on this before. And it's amazing what a simple farm how much of a difference it can make.
Oh no,
hey, they finished.
it sounds a little grainy.
What?
RZ, what are you mumbling about?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to enchain my own little stream thingy while I look through achievements.
Fair enough.
Yep.
You know what would be a cool upgrade for Ember?
What's that?
Imagine if
launcher?
instead of expanding it out like you do with Flamethrower, what if you kept it like as condensed as it was right now?
Blowtorch.
Yeah, where it's like effectively like a fire spear instead of like, a massive torrent of flame.
Yeah, exactly.
Does piercing damage. Possible of hitting 2 Pokemon if they're standing back to back.
Well,
Yeah,
as
or
far
just
as
a line
that
spell,
goes,
effectively.
I was actually thinking about line spells and such. Because, it would make sense with a lot of these abilities that they would be an area of effect. Especially, Flamethrower. When you do Flamethrower, when you're attacking with the Flamethrower, you are addressing that attack to whoever is in front of you. Not just, oh yeah, I don't like that one particular guy over there. Hey there, Werny.
Yeah, it's a more of a to whom it may concern.
Yeah. And so that is a mechanic
Now,
that I kind of want to put in as well.
Yeah, it does remind me of this one system that I really, really, really loved, where there wasn't any specific XP associated with it. It was a much softer system, where you would basically just work with your DM on when you get certain variants.
Mm-hmm.
But when you made a spell, like the magic missile spell, you could cast that around, and it would deal blunt damage because that's how magic missile works. But over time, if you wanted to, you could mess with how the spell is formed and instead make it so it's sharp. or make it so it tracks, or make it so like it's invisible, or make it so that way there's like some there's some like holes through it, so that way when you shoot it out, it's like a screamer, and it like causes a morale debuff, stuff like that.
I like those ideas.
I like them too.
Yeah.
We are
So
definitely
having moves
moving.
then be so then having moves be kind of like a foundational, and then seeking how to upgrade them from there. Just maybe
Yeah.
come up with a big old list of upgrades that could be potentially applied, and then just take another closer look at moves and see which upgrades should not go to which moves due to yada yada. Like it probably wouldn't make sense to put Screamer on Trick Room, for example.
Yeah.
Although that said, that doesn't mean you can't have another morale affecting thing happen. But still, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I was just more like bringing up like the different examples, because that wasn't even like all of the examples that was given like in universe for that spell. Those were all actual in lore variants of the spell. That wasn't even anything that I came up with.
Oh yeah, Xerix, if this is making you hungry, go get food.
You know, now I want to make a magic missile that's just an RPG, just multi-round RPG, but fantasy.
What if you hardened the magical shell around certain spots, and so that way, like when it hit, it would basically shrapnel?
Yes.
But like sadly there wasn't like an XP system attached to this. It was more of like a work with your DM and they'll let you know when you get it.
In a way,
It
I'm
was a much softer.
on board for that one, simply because not only does it give the players autonomy and creativity, but it also allows the DM to say, no, I don't really want that in my game right now.
Yeah.
What if we technically attach it to the ranking up moves?
The ranking up move system, that is a tentative thing because that's a lot of numbers to track.
Yeah.
I'm personally not certain about it. Like, I like the idea. It makes sense. It's part of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but it also... keeping track of that many hits and stuff, and not to mention with that many that we would have to have in there, you also run into, frankly, cheaters. People that are going to be like, oh yeah, I totally hit something 50 times with this move.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm worried about, is that as we put in more and more options and creativity for players, there's also the chance that you're just going to get straight up min-maxers who know the system well enough that they can just make one super move.
Yep, and that's why I was kind of like leaning towards like, and that's why I kind of liked the thing where they basically just had to like work with the DM on when they get it.
Oh yeah. This is all going to be something that, like, it is something that I'm always, I put into the document already multiple times, is a lot of this, all of this is up to your storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you could make a god tier move, but that doesn't mean your storyteller is going to let you actually have that.
Mm-hmm. It might be a good idea to maybe give an example to storytellers as well as to what an overpowered move might look like that they might not want in their game, so that way newer storytellers can have an example to work off of, because they might not know and they'll just simply say yes because, oh, that kind of sounds cool, sure.
One thing that we could do for that is like if we make an actual system, I guarantee you I can recreate Solar Beam that's stronger and doesn't have the recharge negative associated with it.
There you go. That would be an example.
I guarantee you I could do that very easily.
Yeah.
And then now you have someone that can effectively hyper beam every single turn, no problem. And it's stronger, and all they had to do was bank up. Let's just assume that it's like they're like 20 sessions into a game. Like it's been a long form game. They got to a point where they had enough moves where they could safely cover themselves from any problems, and then they just
Hyper beam.
Yep. And that's what I'm worried
But
about.
I'm pretty sure that I can put that as an example.
I think that would be good.
I guess we should, yeah, bringing that up, we should have upper limits, actually. Because those are good points as well. Because if we simply put in an upper limit, we can cut that, we can stop that in its tracks. Which is probably why Pathfinder, with their weapon making system, has upper limits on things.
Mm-hmm. And there's
'Cause,
other ways
like-
we can limit things around too. Like you can only have so many custom moves, for example, or you can only have so many modified moves.
Yeah.
That way, people still have the Pokemon moves that they're good and familiar with, but they still have that small amount of room with which to grow and customize their character to their liking.
You have returned.
A little bit more. I'm
Price
gonna
Sub
want
Fox
us to
just
change that wording,
resubscribed
but I
for
kind of put like
66
overpowered
months.
moves
I'm
are
still
entirely
here.
possible. Everything must come with DM approval. The onus is on the player to
Yeah.
prove to the DM that the variant move is acceptable, not the other way around.
Yeah. Agreed.
Which is harsher than I want to put it, but like, essence of the message.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Prism, thank you so much for that resub and your 66 months of support. Jeez, you have been incredible all these years. Thank you, Prism.
Prism, you rock.
I agree. 66 months? That's impressive.
That's a lot, yeah.
Prism's been here since basically the start of the channel. And I have been exceedingly grateful. And yes, this is the Beaver City Builder game.
Oh, well, that achievement that must means we have the Hotline Miami game on our account. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I want one of the masks, but I have to go buy Hotline Miami. How dare they?
It's been out long enough. You could probably get it for super cheap now.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. BRB. I'm gonna need a napkin.
I'm pretty sure I have Hotline Miami, but have never played it.
It's one of those games that I keep wanting to try, but I never do because, I don't know, just something about it just doesn't sit right well with me.
You do not vibe with that universe.
I do not. I don't know. I'm not the
Not
kind
a
of person who
vibe.
enjoys cruelty for cruelty's sake.
Oh, is that what I've never really looked at what it is.
Well, it's one of those
Oh,
games where it's a bit of a puzzle. You go around, you bot people with bats and stuff like that. And they're all bad guys, so it's not like you're doing it to civilians, I think. But still, it's
No,
just
they're
like
all-
it's a bit gruesome.
You're effectively fighting gangbangers there.
Yeah.
But
Prism
I did
bought
say
it just for the
effectively. It's
Payday
not
2 skin.
literally.
Yeah. Man, fair. Snake head, snake mask. Please. Uh-oh.
I have
I
been
got
egged.
disconnected.
Hello there, Scratched.
Oh.
We need a shout out for Scratched. As well as RZ, Taldarius, Rygon, and Sourdusk. We should probably give another one to Sourdusk. Mods, get on it.
Why, thank you.
Just do the regular SO for them all. Thank you.
Just only the normal SO? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Am I back?
You
Oh, you're
are,
back.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey. I'll re-invite you.
That's fine. So there's a certain mask I want that you get from an achievement. Cutting the red wire. gives me the dragon head. So, yeah. I want it.
Scratched, while I understand that for some reason you don't want the shout outs, I like to give you a shout out because you are a good bean and you deserve some attention. Okay? And I really appreciate you coming by too.
Why is my shoutouts not working? Gosh darn it. And I don't have any mods.
What is Sour's Twitch?
Sour Dusk.
Sour Dusk. D-U-S-A.
These
So-
are all
so
friends
I got-
of the channel that are hanging out with me right now, everyone. So do go give them some loves.
Lynn.
Oh yeah, Lyndon is also a streamer.
Yes.
Indeed.
But,
Just shout out with the voice. Yeah, you have a point. But you know, you need a link for them. I apologize if this is
drop health.
boring, but we're also waiting on Zim.
Yep.
Okay, well, I stayed 5 minutes past when I was supposed to be, but you know.
Hey, if you need to go, then you need to go.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay,
Well,
bye.
bye. Bye, Taldi. Sounded so rude when he left.
I didn't
Oh,
think
you
he
should
was
work on
rude.
that.
No, he
Oh,
sounded
you
rude
sound-
when he left. He sounded rude when he left. I'm making jokes, don't worry. There's nothing menacing, I promise.
Takesh, you are not a failure. Alright, let me go ahead and wrap up this recording real quick, and we'll do the, whatever it is, payday.
Your new favorite game, I promise you. It's a lot, but just take the gun and pull the trigger. And kill everyone in front of you, okay?
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Timberborn. I will be back in just a moment with some Payday 2. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Hey, YouTube.
Wait,
Bye.
wait, what? I'm sorry, everyone. You're telling me this achievement unlocks a new skill